in the current law climate. Now I gotta take a swig because I am dehydrated. Sorry about that, y'all, but we transparent, and I got a lot of talking to do. Black Evie, you still there?
I'm here.
All right, let's just go ahead on and jump off the cliff and let our folks get in the know. So today's topic is the police shooting of Ryan Hinton here in Cincinnati, Ohio, which I'm sure all over the U.S., no matter where you're listening, you can relate to these police shootings, the investigations, the validations, the missing stuff, and all of those sorts of things. I'm sure you guys can relate to all of that about what we're about to uncover. And before we even get into the topic, I want to let you know I am speaking from, we are going to be speaking from some footage that we watched from WLWT locally here in Cincinnati. I think that's Channel 5, where they did an expose with the police chief of Cincinnati, the lawyer for the family that, the Ryan's family, which also includes the fact that Ryan was shot to death by the cop, and his father turned around the next day and ran over a cop, and that was his response to it. So with that being said, we're going to dig into that footage that we watched. We're going to try to bring light to what needs to be shined upon, and we're going to try to give some suggestions on how we as a community need to bring more investigation to the situations and others like it, but also how we need to behave right now in this situation. So I'm gonna just go ahead and jump in with it, and Black EB, we gonna conversate about it. So my first point about that WLWT footage that I watched a couple of days ago with the interview is that the police chief was presenting the police's angle about the story. And if you guys want to join the discussion, 513-961-8900. Let me make sure I just gave y'all the right number. Yeah, 8900. So back to my point. So the police chief was on the news giving the operation of her Cincinnati Police Department, how they handle these type of stops, how they prepare when they get to the scene, and what they do and how they communicate. So this was just a speech. Then she get into, okay, now I'm going to the PowerPoint and I'm gonna roll the cam footage from the dash cam, the body cam, that. Okay, so she starts presenting it. Initially, again, you hear a lot of fluff with it. Her version of trying to present this footage in I guess in a defense. This is a opinion because she already knows she's seen the real entire footage, so she already know herself what is behind that footage. So she tries to fluff it. Okay, cool. She showed how they saw a gun on the ground that some officer heard fall from the ground with all this other background noise of outside, and how the boy was supposed to be in the car and they saw him jump out and all this stuff. But this is being told to you. Then she shows you where they show the gun on the ground and then they go into, he's got a gun, and he run. And he go pow, pow, pow. Ryan's life is ended. But the most important part of that, where they froze the frame, to me was Ryan was running away. His back was to that officer. At least that's what I saw. And the gun that they said Ryan had, they showed a clip that the gun was in the parking lot. Ryan was in some bushes or something. Right? Black Evie, holler at him about what you saw about that part, because I want to kind of take it in steps. It's a lot to unpack.
Okay, so what I observed was, um, she was explaining how the officers were running in different directions, chasing different guys, and one of them, I guess Ryan fell, and everybody heard the gun, and somehow they heard the gun at that point. I don't know. I guess they didn't get to him quick enough, but Ryan got back up and started running again. So there was an officer cutting off that way. As soon, it looks to me, as soon as the officer seen Ryan coming through the the um the dumpsters, he shot. And he said, "Get the F down." That's what I heard. That's what I seen. But it looked like he shot Ryan from a side angle, not so much from the back, because it was like Ryan hadn't passed him yet. From what I observed, I only viewed it once, so I will have to view it a few more times. But that's what I had observed.
Okay, and that's a valid point, and that's why it's so much missing from the footage. See, I edit footage, and it's clear there's a lot of stuff missing from the footage, and we're just talking about the first part of what she did with that footage. Now, follow along with me, Black Evie. Follow along with me, because I want you to chime in on my next point. The fact that she started telling the story from the point of view of pictures. Did you catch that, Black Evie?
Well, yes, but along with that, she was well, from what I remember, she was stating what the officers were kind of given their information along with that.
In pictures form, though. Why didn't you just let the dash cam and the body cam speak for itself? We don't need you to tell it.
That's your point. I get it.
Yeah. Why don't we get clips of pictures? And then you come back in with some footage after that. But in part, because I have dissected this, I edit footage, so I can tell when footage been put together. And it don't even take no keen eye to see that when she stopped telling the story with the picture, the footage, and she started telling it with the pictures, it's like she almost trying to defend what she know is about to come out. It's already out that it's a whole bunch of missing footage. Okay? Getting to Know has put in a request to the Cincinnati Police Department for all dash cam and body cam footage of the Axon rather. And that is a public records request. So when I get that original footage, I'm bringing it to y'all. And it will be on a TV show too. So y'all always stay at Getting to Know and Get in the Know, GITK.org. So you can stay aware of this very here topic right here. So once again, I'm going to take the next step. The lawyer was up there too. I ain't really got too much to say about what the lawyer said. But I now want to go into what the family starts saying. The family, the grandmother got on there and she had a emotional response and wanting to place the facts where they belonged about liability and was citing other things about previous things like that. And I'm kudos to her family around her. They didn't want her to get too overwhelmed, because just doing that press conference a couple of days after that, and let me weigh in on the fact that not only did they kill Ryan, it hurt Ryan's father so bad that he turned around and ran a police officer over and killed him the very next day. So we're going to kind of be cross-talking about all of this. I'm going to watch the time because it's something I want. The takeaway today is very important for everybody. But this is just something that's going, the snowball picking up a lot of snow. And we have to get a hold of it because we don't want to destroy our community. We don't want no copycats. We don't want it to be infested and it start happening to everybody's killing everybody. We got to stand up somewhere and get in solidarity for what is right. That is taking nothing away from Mr. Hinton's family nor his death, because that we got to stand behind what's right for that too. That's why we requested the footage. But at the end of the day, we saw what his father's response was to it. I'm going to comment on that and I'm going to get back to the grandparents. The father's response was to do what he did. The next day in court, they had over 30 police sheriffs in the court, I guess trying to intimidate him, staring him down as if they really wanted to get this man back. I mean, it was horrible. Like, it's 30 people here that is first responders in this courtroom that I'm sure could be out fighting some kind of crime, saving some kind of life, doing something to help the community instead of trying to intimidate this man. Because if it come out that this man son was illegally shot, which I ain't stating it is now, I'm just saying it look fishy. Where are these same cops gonna be? Are they gonna stand in solidarity against their own officer that broke the law and shot this young boy illegally? If that's the case, I ain't saying that's the case, y'all. Just listen to what I'm saying. Food
You
for the.
know,
Go ahead.
okay, Metri is really interesting to me that we got. I'm sorry about the noise. I'm sorry about the extra noise, but it's really interesting to me that all those policemen in uniform went to court, right? Like as you stated, they could have been elsewhere doing something else, fighting crime, but they took that time to come in there and specifically intimidate him with those uniforms. Now we can't do that. We don't have that ability as civilians to intimidate a cop. So if the cop is on trial, we can't come in there all uniformed up, making them scared or, making them feel some kind of way. We can't do that. So that was a direct intimidation tactic.
You got that right, Black Evie. And I don't want to see in our ethnic community, we try to one up that ignorance. Oh, we gonna deal with it, but y'all, we got to deal with it the right way. And if I haven't said it already in the statement, prayers, condolences, uplifting out to the Hinton family, because this story doesn't end well no matter what the outcome is. And everybody's going to have to live with their own choices and the choices of other people at the end of the day, no matter what the outcome is. So I want us to learn from this and maybe try to reduce the instances of it happening, because it's life on earth, and as long as there are people, there's always going to be conflict. So I'm going to go into the grandfathers. No, I want to start with we covered the grandmothers. Now let's go to the brothers' emotional breakdown on the podium. I can't remember if it was his big brother or his little brother, but his little brother to him, from my heart to your heart, young man. Because you were sleeping, you didn't answer that phone. This is in no way your fault. I get it. You said he wasn't supposed to be there. You didn't get him in the door with the key. Don't take that upon yourself, young man. It is not your fault, and it is your responsibility to celebrate Ryan's life. Like people was talking about him playing video games with y'all, teaching them how to play the games, whatever. Ryan, however he shines as a star in your life, you share that with the world. I get your pain. I lost my daughter. I understand what your pain is. But don't you take that in yourself and internalize that. It is not your fault, young man. One love always. You can always reach out to Getting to Know. We can hook you up with some resources to help you deal with this. Getting to Know, GITK.org or 513-806-5649. Now to the grandfathers response. And this is the one I want you to weigh in on, and any other one you want to weigh in on, Black Evie. But to what the grandfather said, it really shocked me to hear him say what he was saying, because he was transparent. And this is something we have to realize as citizens in the United States of America and with the police. These police chasing you down when you run, they just as scared as you are. And my daddy always taught me self-preservation is the first law of nature. So I'm going to shoot to kill if I come up in that situation. I got to protect me, just like you got to protect you. I'm not excusing the actions of the police officers, but I'm saying, let's stop running. Let's stop giving them a chance to shoot at us. No matter how wrong you are. Stand, take what you got coming to you. If you're right, it'll be exposed. But don't pay with your life. Don't do it. Grandpa was telling them, like, he acknowledged the decisions that was made by his grandson might have not been right, but they were so minute in the scheme of everything that happened in the end by him losing his life. He understood where his son was coming from with the response, but once again, we're accountable and liable for our actions. I get the grieving. I do. I lost my child too. Totally different way, but losing a child is losing a child. So I'm here. We're here to try to expose this, to get the rest of this dash cam, body cam, and dissect it and show it to you. So you can stand to know how we can affect change in our local communities we live in. Like I said, if you don't live in my local community, you need some help, get at me. Get in the know. GITK.org. Phone 513-806-5649. It's got me heated, y'all. It's got me heated. So Black Evie, so I need to take a drink or something over here. Go ahead and weigh in, my sister.
So much to unpack. Yes, the grandfather was very candid in his responses, or response. And when in that situation, when in those emergency situations, everybody has to make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And if it appears to me, whether you're trained or not, you make haphazard decisions.
Hello.
And you could. It's rules to dealing with the police, right? You remain calm, you be respectful, know your rights, assert them politely. Avoid escalation. But in situations where you are completely wrong and all you want to do is get away, that's what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it didn't look like, even though guns were involved or supposedly involved, it didn't look like those boys were even using them. Because if they were going to use them, they would have used them.
Hello.
Right? So when they see what was going on, the police running up and everything. So that's just my assumption. But either way, when you're not doing right, this is a clear message. When you're not doing right, and they creep up on you, and you got to deal with the consequences right then and there, how are you going to handle it? Right? How are you going to handle it? How about don't do wrong?
Ooh, start there.
I mean, it's all this situation occurred from a line of events that happened that led up to this situation. All before the police or the authorities located the vehicle and said, defendants. It was just the defendants that were involved. Mm-hmm. They were going along about their day, doing whatever they do, not thinking about consequences. Mm-hmm. Okay? When you are doing wrong, there is always consequences involved. Mm-hmm. And these young men did not even fathom that the consequences was going to catch up to them so quickly. And when those consequences reared their head, they didn't know what to do. So they fled, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't use whatever supposed weapons they had. They fled, they tried to get away from dealing with those consequences. But tragedy ensued. Don't do wrong. Don't be out there doing wrong. I'm not defending any side. I'm just saying the facts, stating the truth, the elephant in the room. Don't do wrong. And you won't have to face these types of situations or consequences.
And that is what I want the focus of this show's takeaway to be. It starts with the actions you do. They just didn't target you for no reason. I'm not saying he was guilty. I'm not saying he wasn't. But let's just speak from the point that he does look guilty. So, like Black be saying, let's start there. Just don't do anything wrong. And I know some things are tempting to do, especially when you're struggling to survive. But you can play with your life. So if it's a controllable, it's your responsibility to control it. You gotta know when to hold, fold, walk away, run. The gambler, Kenny Rogers, and
Some people, I know.
it's just like that. That's like that John Wayne, Little Wayne thing. I get them all mixed up. Yeah, I don't know. But work with me here. You gotta know when to hold them. Meaning, you gotta know when just to stay where you are, do what you're doing. You gotta know when to fold them. Like, don't even make that choice to get yourself in this mixed up ish, right? You got to know when to walk away. Walk away from a situation if you got the choice to keep yourself out of danger. And you got to know when to run. When running, you usually having to pop somebody because they didn't try to hurt you, and then you run. You don't stand around to wait to get hit back. It is your duty to alleviate yourself of any situation that is counterproductive to your safety with the least force that you can possibly give it. But it's understood that by any means necessary, you will employ that strategy to protect yourself under the laws of living. First, self-preservation is the first law of mankind. But if you're doing the wrong thing and then you further engage by fleeing from it, now you've been put a big old red target on your back. And you got a big old red target on your back, and half of the daggone police department chasing you. And you have to pay with your life. And your birthday was just a week ago. Yeah, it's so much of a tragedy. And now your dad is paying with his because he was so hurt behind the loss of you. This is the real thing, y'all. This ain't new to Cincinnati. This ain't new to the world. But we got to do something to curb this. So we need to get our youth involved with positive things like this Hamilton County's Office of Youth thing we talked to y'all a few weeks back. They can go and get jobs from the ages 14 to 21, earning up to $13 an hour. And learning things in technology, construction, and all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying Ryan's family wasn't doing that with him and he wasn't doing that. I'm just saying that often more than it is that fact that these kids are not being occupied with that space. He looks like he has a big loving family. Looks like he's just like any other teenage young man. Might have seemed like a good idea at the time that he paid for with his life.
Metri, excuse me, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Ja Love is there.
Oh, yes. How do you know that, Nando?
I'm tapped in.
Oh, you looking at the screen on the. Oh, that's right. Oh, good observation. So if you on Facebook or YouTube in the studio, I think she was looking at the screen up there. That's how she knew Ja was here.
No, really. I received. She sent me a text. I'm watching all platforms, so she sent me a text.
Okay, that's cool. And y'all, Ja Love has just walked in the building for our viewers on Facebook and YouTube, and for our listeners on WAIF. Hey, Ja Love's in the building. Like I said, we adapt and overcome.
Greetings.
Yes.
Woo, but ain't one thing is another. The vehicle wouldn't start this time.
Yes.
Woo.
Well, sis, we happy to see you, hear you, love you, and everything. But we're gonna keep on with this discussion. And you can chime in where we were at right now. We were just talking about the impact of people making choices when they get in trouble. Just choosing the fact to just maybe not do that thing that's gonna get you in trouble to start with. And if you do get caught, maybe don't run because you can pay with your life. And we send in our condolences But condolences and love to the Ryan Hinton family.
Yes,
We're not,
yes. Peace and love.
yes, and once again, we're not saying he was right or wrong. We're just trying to
Mhm.
keep it out there, keep it real with everything. Like, it's time to make choices, and it's time to stick to our choice and know that we are obligated to keep ourselves safe. So that's going to kind of move into what we're going to cover the rest of this. We're gonna stay away from the case because until I get the footage, I don't want to comment anymore. I want us to make our own assessment off of what we see of all the footage. But I do want the takeaway today. Let's talk about your rights and responsibilities if you are arrested, detained, or questioned by the police.
Mm.
Yes.
You know what? I want to weigh in on one thing.
Okay.
And yes, that is true what you all said about don't run from the police, be careful. But if you can, try to see if someone around to be like a lookout, a witness, because a lot of officers out there is cruel, and they do it on the down low. You know, they try to be very slick about things they do, and like back in slavery, they trying to get away with it. They still want to be on top. And I understand there are a lot of officers out there that are supportive, are doing their part, you know. But for the other ones, that's a hard situation to be in. Should I run or should I stay? Because I had a bad run in once before, and I was just coming from the laundromat, and I had a car full of clothes. You know, I'm a night person. It was probably about 12 o'clock, midnight, somewhere around in that hour, and I was going home from the laundromat, and I got pulled over, and I cracked my window, and they asked me for, you know, registration and all that, and I gave it to them. They said, step out the car. I said, no. What I do? For what? What's your purpose of stopping me? So those situations is a scary situation because back in our time, kind of like around the 80s or whatever, women was getting taken advantage of by officers. So they have a long history of doing things to us. So a lot of people are still scared. They don't know what to do, and it's sad. And I apologize. It's not my job to apologize, but I wish we didn't have to go through this. So we in a catch-22.
Okay, so I definitely want to unpack that because it kind of goes to the rights and responsibilities. Black Evie, are you still with us? Did we lose Black Evie?
No, you didn't. I'm here.
Okay, we want to make sure we didn't lose you. Okay, so two situations. If you in more of a like Ryan Hinton situation, it's completely different than you being pulled over. But I'm gonna come to that because that's where the meat and potatoes is. In the Ryan Hinton, and again, I'm not saying Ryan Hinton is guilty of anything that they saying. So, but we're gonna use this as a case in point because it's hot topic right now, and we need to talk about it. So, as an example, I'm gonna preface this like this: using the Ryan Hinton case, and we're speaking as an example that Ryan Hinton is guilty of stealing that car and guilty of running away from the police. So this is an example. In that example, if you already done stole the car and you see the police coming,
you might as well stay.
You might as well stay. Because anything that happens after that, if you run, big red target on your back.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I really agree with that. But see, a lot of
Hold up, wait a minute. I ain't done, sis.
My bad.
Because I want to speak to what you said. I ain't trying to be mean, but this argument right now.
Speak it.
All right.
We got a short time.
That part. Okay, here you go. So, in your case, I was just talking about this earlier. If you are in a situation and a police officer pulls you over in a car in a rural area, a dark street, ain't nobody there. This is what you should do, and it's allowed with your rights and responsibilities. In fact, it's your right, it is your responsibility to do it. If they pull you over, you can stop. You can hand them your driver's license. You can tell them, I'm going to drive to a well-lit, well-populated place, and then we can talk further. But if you don't feel comfortable like that, you on some desolate road and you still feel scared, you can call 911. Let them know where you are, and the police is behind you, and let them know, I'm not running. I'm driving down the road to a well-lit, populated place, and I will pull over. This is my name. This is my plate. But I don't feel safe pulling over behind this cop, and I'm the only one out here. And you also have to put that to the next text, because on our YouTube page and our Facebook page, right now, there exists a video that I had my personal cam on where a dude was acting like he was the cop. And that's the video that's out there that people are really in a big old uproar about, because not only did he act like he was the cop, he comes to the place trying to jump on somebody and he got his butt beat, everything that he deserved. So we don't only have to look out for the real cops, we got to look out for the fake ones too.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Yes.
I'm going to snap that up. That's my message, and I approve it. Now, I don't want to seem like I'm Mike Hogan, but Blackie, before I get into these rights and responsibilities, I'm going to let her throw something in, and we at 1340, that's 140 civilian time. I'm going to let you settle in a bit, follow up behind Black Evie, and then we're going to end it on these rights and responsibilities, talking about those. So, Black Evie, go for it.
Well, okay. So to your point of the perception from the cops' point of view,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with, I guess, black and brown people, people of color. This includes foreigners as well, all types of foreigners. I want you to understand that potential for bias. Just be aware that black and brown people are disproportionately targeted by the police, first of all. We all know that. We all know this. Okay? Understand that running or resisting is perceived as a sign of guilt.
Yeah.
Even if you are innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make a move to try to turn to the left or the right. The cop is like, where you going? Where you going? You know, they are trained to be suspicious and question every move. So soon as you try to bounce off another direction or go away from the cops and they're coming to you, they perceive that as you being guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment is where everything turns, because you don't know what that cop is thinking.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel, for those that can do this, because we can't do this in all situations, if you feel unfairly targeted, document that encounter and report it later.
Mm-hmm.
And don't make no sudden moves. That's right now. For right now, when you come back, I'll have you removed.
All right. John, I know you got something to say about it. Get your
I
mic
kind of
up.
missed out on the question because I went into.
All right, well,
this situation is real sad.
it triggers you.
Yeah, losing a child, and then the NAACP coming in, people.
And when it's NAACP.
Yeah, NAACP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to get it right too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's about to be so big, and
Preach.
I hope we don't have a riot up out of this,
Preach.
because everybody is put in a tight situation regardless who is the victim or not.
Mm-hmm.
And is this about to be our little miniature war here? Then if one take one side, they wrong, and then another take the other side, they're wrong, because we all see wrong in each situation, and we all see right in the situation. So how do we balance this out? I hope everybody could come to a conclusion of balancing this out, weighing it out, looking at both ends of the situation, and imagine that's you in those situations. How would you feel? How would you react? So hopefully we can this could be done fairly.
Mm-hmm.
I pray that everyone pray on this situation because this is a crazy, scary situation. People need to wake up, open their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jesse Owens was the fastest runner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't think he could beat a bullet.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You know, and yes, sometimes people go into shock when that situation happened because they don't think of a situation happen like that. And if they do, their mind is in an illusion thinking, I could just do this to get away, do that to get away, and find out it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know what to say about this situation. It's just, ooh, that's why I don't like watching the news, because I'm a very sensitive person to things like this. I'm a love child. I'm, one of the father's love child. And it hurts me because I have children myself, and in the will of the Father, I'm grateful I still have them. But watching other people lose theirs, it hurts me like they are my children, especially when it's unfairly. Unfairly. So everybody wake up, be patient, think of the consequences of each situation that you do, because everything that you do resolve over consequences, even if it's good or bad. Action requires an action.
Well, that goes into reaction, reaction, and response. And
Exactly.
I'm about to dive in real quick on what you said, because you unpacked a lot. So first I'm going to start with you don't watch the news because it's so sad, and I get it. But we got to start, we don't only just got to start watching the news, we got to start reporting it. Because that's what getting to know is. We are the people's news provider. So we got to get in the community with our people and see. I ain't saying we got to run up and chase down suspects.
Right.
But we got to watch the news, expose what's wrong. Because we need to know. We need to know what the trend is out here of what the people that are on the wrong side of the law, whether they're a cop or a civilian, are doing, so we can be aware to protect ourselves. So we got to become informed. You can watch YouTube. YouTube has a lot of channels of people that produce news and weather that I subscribe to because I feel that they're vetted and viable. We are vetted and viable resource too, but we got to get the info too. So we got to get it from somebody.
But let me rephrase my words. It's not that I doesn't watch any news. I don't watch it all the time because I am updated on what's going on. I just don't sit there and harbor on the same story that every channel giving different information about.
I mean, that's cool, you got to sift through it. You got to, and then the main news outlets, they like you said, there's a lot of fluffery in there that I'm just like, okay, I can get past all of that. We are running out of time here, but I wasn't speaking just to you about I know it looked like
just speaking on it.
Just
speaking on it.
I want everybody to know, it's our responsibility to get the information, and that's why we transparent here, because we share what we need to work on or what we want to know and what we need to know too, and we want y'all to share it with us. Now I got some notes here. So when you were talking about the behaviors and how you feel about the police officers and how they treat us and how our community comes back, and we may feel pressure within our community to respond in such a way where you get that mob mentality. Oh, they killed your brother. I wouldn't stand for that. Be open season. I don't care what they say. That right there is a lot of that going on.
Peer
pressure. And it's hard to stand up in that in the community. Very hard to do that. I get it. But that's why getting to know is here. You can call us. 18 and above, you can call us. If you're a child that needs some help, we suggest you go to a safe space with a safe person at your school, your rec center or something, and you reach out to them, because I don't want you guys calling directly to us in the show because we're not trained professionals in that way, and I don't want to give it any leadership advice to a child without a consenting adult, but we do support safety for children. It's just we can't speak directly to them without an adult consenting. But we do encourage our children that may be finding themselves, in this situation with this peer pressure. Reach out to your teachers, your coaches, your go see the little safe place guide with the hands. There's plenty of ways you can do that, and we're going to put stuff out on the website. The kids can go to the website, Get in the Know, GITK.org, and those kids, you can look on there, and I'll put up some links to safety for children when they need to reach out to talk to somebody. Because there's a lot of our young men around Ryan's age that he grew up with in the peer pressure, not just with Ryan's situation, all over.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these kids don't want to do it, but it's what's around them. They're in games and all that. So we're going to be a resource to get the kids to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. So I want to, and the other thing you said, and then we're going to have to start wrapping up the show, is the not me mentality. Don't think it can't happen to you, boo. Bullets don't discriminate. They don't have, you can aim them, but sometimes they don't go to that particular target.
Mm-hmm.
So keep it real with yourself. Don't get hurt. But I am going to have to start wrapping it up here. I'm going to have to go ahead because I couldn't find our Memberthon CD today. So I'm going to try to paraphrase the Memberthon that we're here at WAIF. This is our spring membership Memberthon where you can donate for $25, gets you a membership to WAIF, voting rights at the yearly meeting, and you're going to do your own show here too because we don't get paid. We're a nonprofit radio station supporting our community over 50 years. Also, if you make a donation, make sure that you put Get in the Know as the show to get the credit. And in addition to that WAIF gift that you'll get, we give you a Get in the Know gift too. All you got to do is just take a screenshot, redact your information that's personal, just show us that you paid for it, and we'll arrange to deliver your gift. Just shoot that screenshot to 513-806-5649 if you go ahead and join the station and make a donation and get the Know's name. That is our spring member-thon. We appreciate all the support the community has given us over the past 50 years. Continue to support. We'll keep bringing you diversity throughout our community. I apologize that I couldn't find the tape that went with that, but I just don't see where the CDs are right now.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Awesome. That was great.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. And shout out to my family at WAIF. So now we're going to go ahead and walk up out of here. We won't be playing a tribute to my daughter at the end of the show today, but tribute to her always. I love her. I miss her, and it's all for her. She empowers the beauty of us surviving. I couldn't do it without her. All right, let's get to the last 8 minutes of this show. Let's talk about your rights, your responsibilities if you detained, arrested, or questioned by the police. So, I'm going to go down some rights. I'm going to read them all to you, the rights and the responsibilities. And then you guys can weigh in wherever. And remember, we have a TV show that we do weekly. So we will cover the same topic on the television show. And on the television show, we'll be able to show you the footage for you to watch it in real time with us. All right. Your rights if detained, arrested, or questioned behind the police. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. You're also entitled to a phone call to arrange legal representation and your right to record the event. You can record it too. The right to remain silent. You have the right to refuse to answer questions and to remain silent. If you wish to invoke this right, state it clearly. Right to counsel. You have the right to an attorney. You should ask for one immediately. If you are arrested, if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you. Right to a phone call. You have the right to make a phone call to contact a lawyer or other supporter. Right to refuse searches. You have the right to refuse consent to a search of your person, vehicle, or home unless a warrant is obtained. Right to leave if you're not under arrest. If you are not under arrest, you have the right to calmly leave if you are not being detained for questioning. Right to know why you are being arrested. You have the right to know why you are being arrested. Now, these are all your rights. But like we say, they come with responsibilities. And I go back to what John Love says at this point. She was saying a situation will happen and we'll react to it. When you react to something, you're doing it uninformed. It is your duty to know your rights and your responsibilities prior to any encounter you may or may not have with the police officers. So you can respond in the situation if you find yourself detained or questioned or arrested by the police officers. That is your responsibility to know your rights. Mm-hmm. Now, your responsibilities, once again, if detained, arrested, or questioned by police. Responsibilities include remain calm, not resisting arrest, and refrain from providing information other than your name, address, and date of birth, unless instructed by your attorney. It is your responsibility to record the event, audio, video, or both. That way you got your own cam for yourself. You have the responsibility to remain calm and polite. Stay calm and be polite to the officers. You have the responsibility, do not resist arrest or obstruct the police, even if you believe the arrest is unfair. You have the responsibility to provide correct information. Do not lie or provide false documentation. You have the responsibility to not sign anything without legal counsel. You cannot be forced into signing anything without your legal counsel's consulting with you. Do not speak without your attorney present. You have the responsibility to shut up. Accept those basic questions and anything else about what's going on with the situation you're in. Get an attorney first. Don't be bullied into, well, if you don't tell us now, we're going to think you this, it's going to look bad. The judge would like, no, well, due process. It's called due process. I paid my taxes for that process, so let's do it. Okay? Okay? You also have a responsibility to what I said before. Be prepared. Have a safety plan in place. In case I don't get back on such and such time with my family, let them know where you're going. And some fishing could be going on because they might have to start checking. And if you in a situation, know what that is. Have a code word you go in. Like, I can tell y'all a code word me and my daughter had was ditto. I would never tell her I love her. I always told her ditto. So if something went down and I said I love her, she knew it was a problem. If we went by each other, get a code word or an emergency plan. Have you ICE. ICE is in case of emergency. Have those contacts memorized in your head, not just in your phone. And understand that you got to load these rights. Don't just try to start shouting them out because you watched Law and Order. I'm talking about look at your city. Mm-hmm. See what they are for you locally. You got these rights and these responsibilities. You are your first line of defense. And if you abide by these, hopefully they will bring you a peaceful resolution to whatever your encounter was with the police. We too take into consideration that not all police are real police and not all police are legit. But at the bare minimum, for most cases, these are situations you might find yourself in. And if you find yourself in a situation outside of that, stop by a police officer that's legit or questionable to you. Always, right there, just get on the phone to 911, have your old cell phone taping. You know, be like, look, this officer pulled me over in such and such street at this time. Blasey, Skippy, this. Report your whole situation to 911, because now you know the next officer's dispatched. They gonna be the real police, and hopefully, if they real, police doing the right thing. If you stop by a police officer that ain't, a real police officer, because we got a lot of that going around here in the local area. Like I said, I got my own cam footage of that I didn't post it on YouTube and Facebook. But y'all stay tuned, on YouTube, Facebook, getting to know gitk.org. We'll put the link in all the posts on the Facebook and the YouTube. I ain't memorized the YouTube's handle yet, but I put that all up in the comments, because we at 1359. Dean Hart from Sunday Drive, he will be coming in, or we might just be going to playback, but I might be able to feel still like a second or two from that before we go into playback for Dean Hart. Yeah, he plays wonderful music too. The takeaways today is stay safe, stay out of trouble, and if you get caught up by the police, don't run. You might pay with your life. Know your rights, know your responsibilities, encourage kindness in your communities, and do your part. And know the resources to go to in case you find yourself behind the 8 ball. Just go to gitting-to-know-gitk.org and look at our list of resources. Send us a message if you need some help. Black Evie, y'all got about 5 seconds to get some shout out love, and then we got to get up off of this mic. All right. Oh, that's all you got. She said, well said. Okay.
Yeah, that was well said. I know I was late getting to the show. Okay. I was late getting to the show today, but I enjoyed this topic. It is really heart touching. Heart touching. And it's going to make you get your mind going. So thank you very much for joining us again today. And stay tuned. And peace and light.
That part, and it's the top of the hour. This is WAIF 88.3 Cincinnati. Black Evie, get that takeaway, and then we got to turn this over to Dean Hart.
Okay, just want everybody to stay safe and remember that we all have a responsibility to use our intelligence, get the facts, and discern for ourselves how we feel and what we think. Don't make it go into tearing up the community.
That part.
Yes.
That part. Yes, we don't need to become our own barrier of adversity. And on that note, next week's topic may be a continuation of this week, because we need to get at the community. Y'all gonna see getting to know out in the community all summer long. But now I got to turn it over to our next programmer here at WAIF. I might be live a few seconds after that on Facebook and YouTube. But we are turning it over to Dean Hart just here in a second to a playback. Y'all enjoy. Peace, love, and soul. I just want to say that.
Yeah, she had to go to the next studio.
Yeah, that was for the old heads right there.
Yes, it was. That was real cute. She took us back.
Yeah, took us to the Soul Train.
Mhm.
I always wanted to say that. All right, YouTube, Facebook. Like I said, y'all get a little behind the scenes setting up. This was the first official Facebook Live. Actually, the first official of doing the YouTube, Facebook. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not the first official.
for YouTube.
YouTube. Wait a minute. Hold on.
The first official for YouTube.
First official for
Yes,
YouTube Live.
and welcome back, Facebook.
Welcome back, Facebook. We've been doing y'all wow. We like to say to the subscribers and the followers accordingly on each one of them. Yeah, come on over here. Because you weren't here to put you in the shop.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
So this is your host. Come on.
Okay.
This is your host and co-host. We double dipping right now. Black Evie, can you see us? We in the
But right now, I see you. Now, oh, okay. I think. Okay, Billy. Love is scooting over, but she's not fully in the frame. So
well, she's coming. You a little bit lag time. Lag time. So yeah, she coming. So you'll catch up with your lag time. So we see that Facebook and YouTube is got their own little lag times, but y'all catch it. But thank y'all for tuning in. I see a couple little things up there with people who watching. We try to bring y'all, the word on the street. The Lady Indica series, the dash cam series that I'm doing, that's the Lady Indica thing that y'all gonna see more of. Catching the Can't wait a minute, hold up. I'm off the air. Okay, yeah, hold up. I'm off the air off the wait with the FCC. We not on the air no more
Right.
with the FCC, so
Now you can speak.
I can speak. Y'all know that's some bullshit. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
That part right there, your girl gonna bring you the true shit. We gonna investigate this. So stay tuned every way. Acknowledge, interact. Thank you to the YouTube subscribers. Thank you to the Facebook followers. I didn't think I was gonna be able to pull this off. Broadcasting live from Facebook, YouTube, and on air WAIF. So we triple impact every recording. We couldn't do it without the support of our followers, subscribers, listeners, viewers on we on W. No, we ain't on W, nothing on that one. We are on Spectrum and Alta Fiber 3 times a day, every day of the week, with our show here locally in Cincinnati, Ohio. If you're not here locally viewing the cablecast networks, just go to Get In The Know, GITK.org. View our video library. We want to get you the information that you need. Also, touch base with us if you need some help in your neighborhood, or touch base with us if you got something to tell us. We need to get in the know too. We don't know it all.
Yeah, sure.
But we want to be the word on the street. And with all these major news networks bound by the commercial stuff that they got to do and all that. No, we just raw dog with the shit. You know, when I ain't on the FCC's time, which I ain't on their time right now, I can say it like the TI is. I ain't got to hide behind the words. Except some of them, since I'm an influencer now, it is some things I can't say. I done found out. But shit ain't one of them, okay? And I ain't full of that bullshit, okay? All right, y'all. We gonna go ahead and sign off. We love y'all. I'll probably come on live, double up again later on today. I'm Ma Dukes, you know, doing this for my baby who's passed on. She was the real social media influencer. I'm a little old and trying to get it, but I want us to unite. This Ja Love, my friend, for the
50 years.
50 years. You mumbling something, Ja. We too old to mumble. I can't. If you don't want them to hear, wait till we not live no more.
I don't know with the mumble anything. I didn't want to speak over you.
Oh, okay. Well, then y'all got
But
something
I
to say.
did. I did say we've been friends for 50 years. And that's channel Spectrum. That is Spectrum channel 8 and fiber optic 803.
All right.
Cincinnati local channel.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Until later. Peace, love, and happiness.
Peace and light.
All right. So, Bobby, that part. Here's Facebook gone. I don't know how to cut off YouTube, but we gonna find out.
YouTube might cut off by itself.
No, I'm still going live.
Okay. Oh, okay. What about YouTube? Oh, no? Okay, I put it off.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, y'all still,
I don't know.
I see.
Yeah, are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes.